I'm really so grateful for you for creating this program as well, for lots of reasons, not just the program and the content itself, which is brilliant, but one thing, when I was sort of a little bit on the fence, like, oh, am I going to join this or not? And we had a call and you mentioned one word which kind of just got me in the heart, and that was sisterhood. And I thought, wow, that's what I'm really missing in my life, is that sense of sisterhood. And I'm lucky enough to have two older sisters. So I have, real sisters, but they're having such a different life experience to me. And so it's hard to connect, and I really miss that. But what you've created within the Unleash program is really just a beautiful group of like-minded women, all on their different journeys still, but with that same sort of core thing that they're looking for, is to sort of become more themselves and find more, I guess, a sense of personal freedom. Well, that's certainly what it is for me, and that's something I'm picking up as well from the other members, other beautiful ladies in our group, who I'm so grateful for. Yeah, so for me, why else did I join? Yeah, if I look at my life, my career started in the corporate world, a bit like yourself, Blanca. So I've always resonated quite strongly with your story. And I left there almost 2 years ago after working for 6 years in financial due diligence. So really sort of the big flashy mergers and acquisitions world. I really felt like I started to lose myself there, and I didn't know who or what I was anymore. And so I left and I moved into a career doing coaching and private therapy as well. And I knew I had the skills to do that, but I missed that piece of, like, who am I now? I kind of felt like I knew who I was. I had this sort of mask, this sort of sense of identity as a corporate woman, and wearing the fancy suits and the high heels every day. And I sort of felt like I knew who I was to an extent, but when I stepped away from that, got rid of that sort of identity, I was like, okay, what now? So for the last couple of years, that's been something that I've really been trying to find within myself, at the same time as running my business, also going, well, who am I in this world? Who do I want to become? And how do I really get in touch with my authenticity? Because all this, marketing talk in the small business world, you've got to be authentic. You've got to be authentic. How can you be authentic if you don't really know who you are anymore? So I'm authentic in how I deal with my clients, and then I genuinely care, and all these kind of things. But it's like, what is really my message? What is really the work that I want to do in the world? And I felt like the Unleashed program really provides such a beautiful container for that, and exploring all these things that hold us back, or the veils, as you so beautifully described them. And I just resonate so much with all of the content that you've put together. So that's a little bit of my monologue in a nutshell of what really drew me to the program.
The best way to describe it is that Blanca sets up this beautiful buffet of all of these different items that she's prepared. Some of them you've had before, but not the way she flavors them. Some you've never heard of before, but they look appealing enough that you want to give them a try. So you come to her course, and there's this buffet of all of these ideas and tools and strategies out there. And it's up to you to decide which ones resonate with you, which ones you want to try, which ones you want to go deeper with. And because of that, what I found was it really allowed me to go deep. So instead of my brain getting full of all these facts and figures and theories that Blanca was presenting, she gave just enough to really make me want to go inside. So they made me very introspective. I found that my tuition was enhanced. I was able to uncover some limiting beliefs. just a whole host of things. One of the things, and Blanca, correct me if I get this quote wrong, but one of the first things that really struck me personally was she was talking about generational trauma. And she shared that scientists have shown that the genetic imprint of trauma stays in our DNA for 7 generations. That to me was shocking. Because I'd been focused and I'd been working on the trauma in my life, but I'd never made the connection with the generational aspect and why some of the dysfunctional dynamics in my family existed. And that was really powerful. And quite frankly, as an African American, it gave me a very different perspective on the legacy of slavery, in fact, because I'd never really made the connection.
I'm truly starting to fall in love with myself, and I'm really starting to enjoy who and really like who I am. And that has been so lovely because I think, especially as you said, it's very vulnerable. You feel very vulnerable putting yourself out there, and what I'm saying, does it make sense to the world? And I was doubting that a lot, and the fear of making a mistake, of it has to be perfect. And now I'm actually realizing, no, this is my authentic self. And I really feel that your course has helped me so much to be more confident about myself and, my value.
I mentioned I've done these sort of programs before that are really kind of far into the depths of spirituality, and then you sort of come back into life and interacting with all of the real world things, and you go, okay, now what do I do? I have a conflict with a person. Okay, how do I deal with that? I can't just go into my Zen space and white light everyone and everything's fine. It doesn't really work that way. But the way that you sort of break down these things in terms of how do we react to things, how do we manage to detach from certain situations, and where should we be investing our energy, and where do we need to take a step back, and just, I guess, helping get a little bit more in touch with your intuition and how to navigate certain challenges in life, and also not just how to sort of do these things mentally in your head. I'm very much that in your head person, but how to get into your body and live it and feel it and breathe it and experience it, from dancing and then shaking things out and finding these sort of ways to interrupt the patterns that you've got, through to how to kind of analyze the interactions that you have with people who are very dear to you in your life, whether it's a parent or a sibling or a child. How do you deal with those triggers when they come up? And that for me has been really powerful, and I've already seen those things sort of play out in my life. I've seen some big shifts, both in my relationship with my mum. I know parental relationships are a challenging thing for so many of us, and also with my boyfriend. The dynamics have changed quite dramatically there, and I think that's all to do with how I'm managing my energy. And in terms of practicalities, again, I think that's really what you've been able to distill down so beautifully in the programs. How do we manage ourselves in the context of the life that we're living? And that changes everything.
What I really liked about the course, which was unexpected to me actually, was like we have a sort of buddy system, right? So every week you're also meeting up with somebody else in the group, and the girl I got matched with, she's really lovely, but we're also very opposite. And I think that was been really good for us both, because we've come from a different background, I guess, and it's been useful. And also like our weekly calls that we do as a group. It's funny because sometimes we all take turns to speak about a week, and it's amazing how much thoughts and ideas you get from other people's experiences. So that's been really nice as well.
If what you're looking for is to find that last puzzle piece and you need some support in doing it, I think the Unleashed program is a wonderful kind of practice ground, a place to play and explore yourself a little bit more deeply, have some conversations that you might not feel safe to have anywhere else. And I feel like I can just say anything in this sort of safe space that we've got with the ladies on the program, and yourself, Blanca, leading the way. I feel really a sense of freedom to be myself, and I'm not going to be judged for anything that I might say that's, you know, controversial or doesn't fit certain, you know, mainstream dialogues or the culture that I'm, you know, meant to come from. You know, so anyone who just feels like they need a place to belong, to feel that sense of belonging, you know, I think you can find it in the Unleashed program, and you can dip your toe in or you can dive all the way in. And I think you know, the depths of the relationship you have within the program also depend on how willing you are to go into it. And I feel like every week I'm trusting it more and more, and wanting to share more of myself. And I feel that with the other ladies as well.
Since working with you, I have absolutely seen my numbers of clients, and as I said, business come in. And yeah, it's the magic of just saying, okay, well, this is here I am, and come towards me and we can work together.